Hi again, my wisdom walkers. Thank you for returning to my channel, Life Lessons Learned. And for your new viewers, I welcome you here as well. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 things I would have done had I known I lived this long. And for me, this long is, for those of you who have watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm close to retirement age. And for this baby boomer, my retirement age is 66 years and 10 months. Why the government didn't just say 67, because it'll be 67 and 2 more months from there. But don't let me get off subject, okay? This one is going to be just a little challenging for some of you out there because you're probably saying, what is she talking about? She didn't think she would be here at 66. That's young. Okay. And I guess for some people it is. But I'm going to explain why I didn't think I would be here this long. And so that way you'll have a better understanding as to these 5 regrets that I do have, not knowing that I would still be here. So let's get into it. First of all, I was born and raised in Detroit, and it was during the turbulent 60s. So, anyone that knows anything about that era, you had the riots in 67. You had the group of Black Panthers that were trying to change the system, laws, and rules and regulations for African Americans. Yeah, they were considered as a militant group going against the government and all of that. But in any event, it was also at that time in Detroit. Detroit was considered, this isn't me talking, it's just the way it was, as the murder capital of the world. So there was lots of violence, lots of things that were going on where a lot of people were kind of trying to stay away from. Now, I think my city is a beautiful city, and I really believe I was blessed to um, have been there during the times that I was there, but probably a lot of people think that about wherever they grew up in. So, unfortunately, because of the times that I was in, as a youth, and I mean 10, 11, 12, 13, going into your early teens, I had friends that were, I don't know how to say it, but to say they were murdered, they were killed. Um, some of them was through their own demise with using drugs and, getting into trouble and that kind of thing. So I'm in that environment. I'm thinking, okay, I probably won't be here long either, which, so things happen. But and then at one point in my life, don't ask me why, but and I don't know what caused this, but for some reason, was under the impression that by the time I got to be 30, nothing bad here, but I thought that we were going to be in some type of a utopia, like everyone would be getting along, there would be peace throughout the land. This whole planet will experience the age of Aquarius. And for some reason, I think that was given to me like in a dream or thoughts that I had. So I was like, oh, once I get to be 30, everything will be better on this planet. Ugh, maybe I was just an idiot. But anyway, I'm going to give you the 5 things that I regret in my life of not doing or of not learning or knowing. Um, because again, I didn't think I would be here at 66. Seems so old. Not to offend anyone that's in their 60s, okay? But to be able to say in 4 years, I'll be 70, jeez, I can't, okay? I can't even. But one of the things I definitely regret, and you know how people say, if I knew I'd lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself. That's certainly something I want to make as an important point of this video. As you all know, your health really is everything. And even with money and lots of it, there are certain health issues. If they don't have a cure for it, all the money in the world won't do you any good. Or if you've gone through some type of a health um, obstacle, where you'll still be here, but not healthy, saying you're not, you may not have the use of your limbs or there are other things going on. Those are major issues for me that I didn't feel that I would be able to deal with. So I was like, if anything like that happened with me, I would Jack Kevorkian on out of here. For those of you who don't know Dr. Jack Kevorkian, please just look him up. And actually, Al Pacino played him, and he's from Michigan, so Detroit is in Michigan. Um, the name of the movie was You Don't Know Jack, because his name was Jack, but again, I'm getting off into other things here. But one of the things I do regret is not having taken care of myself much better than what I have. Now, let me preface that with saying that I've been overall very, very healthy. No issues, no accidents, no health scares or anything like that. Although I shouldn't say no. In my next video, I am going to talk about the two um, major. I just said I didn't have any major ones, but the two deals that happened in my life for me physically that made me go, "Where's Jack Kevorkian when you need him?" But that was number one. I would definitely have taken better care of myself had I known I would be able to reach retirement age. Number two, a regret that I have is I wish that I had traveled more. So, in my youth, had dreams of going to different places like Ireland, Paris, Italy, things like that. And I did travel, but not abroad. So I traveled throughout the United States, which was always fun too, because I wanted to, any state that I would go to, I would like to visit that state's monuments or their natural places. So, like for Arizona, it would be the Grand Canyon. For New York, it would be the Statue of Liberty or Ellis Island, things like that. So, I was able to do that type of traveling, but I really wish that I had more courage to travel abroad. It's just that I was like, well, I don't know any different languages. I don't want to, be in a strange environment and not be able to communicate with people. But people do that all the time. So that's a regret that I wish I had done sooner. However, it's never too late, although with condition of everything going on in the different parts of the world today, I'm still having second thoughts about traveling outside of the United States. I mean, we have enough chaos here, right? I don't need to go and find chaos. But that is another regret that I have. I wish I had traveled more. And then my third regret is not having stuck with what my main dream and goal in life was. And so let me explain that. I had a certain idea of what I wanted to accomplish in my life, and it was a major goal. I won't get into it right now because you guys, it makes me sad. But overall, I do know that I've had a good life, and I did pursue that goal rigorously for years and spent thousands of dollars trying to make that come true for myself. And even though it hasn't happened yet, I am still here. So who knows, right? And I'll be sharing that in a different video altogether because there's a lot of emotional tie-ins to that. And I'll be able to explain the things that I did do, the money I did lose, the time and effort I put towards that. But yeah, that's another one. The fourth thing is I do truly wish I knew and understood the value of saving and investing. So let me explain. Many of the jobs that I've had always had, I think all of the jobs that I've had 401k plans and investment strategies and things like that. And actually, at one point, I had been trained as a financial advisor. So it had to do with insurance. So I was licensed insurance person for life insurance and, um, health insurance and things like that. So from that career path, I did get to understand and know the importance of saving, investing, getting the right type of insurance vehicles for yourself and things like that. But as I went from job to job over my 50-year working period, and yes, I've worked since I was 14, so it's over 50 years. Um, had I really known the importance of saving, again, investing, keeping funds somewhere, not touching it, not using it as an emergency thing, because as I said, I'll be retiring in about 11 more months, and I don't want to be in a position like so many people who have retired that have to go back to work, who find out their retirement is not going to be enough for them to even live off on or anything like that. So it's been a real eye opener getting this close to retirement and going, I'm afraid to see what my 401k is going to say to me. Now, just to let you know, whenever I did get raises at work, I would raise the amount that I would be putting into my 401ks and into those types of savings and things. But who's really ready for the high cost of living these days? Let's just be honest. And the fifth thing that I do regret, and this has probably all of us can relate to, well, we can probably all relate to the other four I talked about as well, but it's having, well, not having, let's see, how do I phrase this? I regret not letting go of toxic people in my life sooner. So, you know how sometimes we make excuses for friends, family members, colleagues, coworkers, even bosses or supervisors, and we don't always stand our ground with them. And then later on, we're like, dang it, I should have said this, or I should have done that, or I should not have agreed to whatever. Having toxic people in our lives, as you guys know, has us going down paths that we really don't want to be on, and probably sometimes making commitments we don't want to make, or just putting up with a bunch of BS that we really do not have to put up with. So for that one, and I can say, even though that's a regret, I was able to learn that pretty on in life because for me, it was like, if they're not respecting me, if they're not, if they're rude or unkind, they only have, I used to have that three strikes and you're out rule, because anybody can have a bad day. Anyone could be, you know, feeling under the weather or that kind of thing. So you don't want to write people off too soon. But when they're doing something repeatedly, continuously, even though you've asked them not to, or you've let them know how you feel about that, and you're not treating them like that, or ignoring what their wishes are, then it's okay to let anyone go in life. And for me, when I was able to do that, sometimes you feel, oh, dang, did I do the right thing? Or maybe I should have given them another chance, or whatever it is that we feel guilty about. After a short period of time, and I started racking up all of the things that had gone on with me and whoever I'm letting go, or looking at the relationship for what it was and not as I wanted it to be, then I was truly okay with letting people, go on their path and I continue on mine. And I wish them well, mostly. and and I would be okay with that. Now, was that easy to learn? No, it wasn't. There were some relationships that I had for 15, 20, 25 years. And you have to realize that saying it really is some people are in our lives for a reason and some people are in our lives for a season. And when that season has come, it's okay to let that go, let it go gently or let it go, I don't want to say harshly, but understand that it really is just time to let that go. And it allows you to grow and be where you need to be in your life, or at least to get on the path where you would need to be without having um, someone blocking that or trying to circumvent that or just trying to keep you at the stage and level that you're currently at when you're looking to elevate yourself and go on and do more things. So again, the five things that I do regret, and again, had I known five things I would have done if I'd known I'd live this long, they are taking, of course, better care of myself. And again, I'll talk about that in the next video that you guys will see. I wish I had traveled more because back then, we didn't have all of the crises that we have in the world currently. And it would have been nice to go and really visit other people, places, and things. I wish I had stayed. I can't say I wish I had stayed with my dream or my goal because every once in a while I still do get back to it. So I'm like, maybe this month, maybe this year. So, but still, that's a regret that I currently do have. And they saved and investing more, looking forward to a time where I would no longer be working, where I would be retired and would have the income and the funds that I would need so that I can at least not be so concerned about what is Social Security going to do next year, that kind of thing. And then, of course, the letting go of toxic people in my life and being okay with that, gently blessing them on their path and allowing myself to go on mine. So those are the things I want to share with you all. For my wisdom walkers, please leave your comments below. Maybe talk about one or two regrets that you've had in life, or some reasons why you thought perhaps you would not have lived as long as you thought. And for my newbies, if you're so inclined, please subscribe and come back and visit my channel. Also, leave your comments. The community here is Wisdom Walkers. The name of my channel is Life Lessons Learned. I do drop videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday. So the next upcoming video that you guys are going to see is going to talk about the two times where, I don't know how to say this nicely, but where my life was, I don't want to say in danger, but there were times where, well, I don't even know how to say it, but you'll see in the next video what I'd gone through. And I was like, I wasn't planning on being here this long anyway. Let's just get this over with. Okay. But it wasn't anything that I was doing. It was just a health issue that did come along unexpectedly. And you'll be able to hear about that and see why it was so unexpectedly. But this is Sherry. I certainly appreciate all of you guys. Please come back, visit, comment, share, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye bye.